of money blockbusting secrets, the reason why we're going to take some extra time for an in-depth teaching today in particular is that there are uniquely there are unique three unique secrets for manifesting money in particular that I want to get to share with you today. And everyone's situation is different, but the results are usually the same. Isn't it interesting? Everybody's situation is different, but the results are usually the same. So you may have like more money than the next person up the street saved in the bank, right? Or you may be living comfortably right now, whereas the next person may not have as much money as you do, right? And are feeling a little bit challenged saving in the bank, but for some reason that person who has less money than you is able to charge more and make more, whereas for you, you may be comfortable and unable to charge. Like as I'm looking in the chat box, yeah, Regina, can't even imagine making money, right? Be kind to yourself. So mwah, if you can't even imagine really making more money, this webinar is especially for you, because I want to shine light on the 3 secrets behind why why you can't see the way forward, right? If you can't even imagine charging 5, 10, 30 or $50,000 for what you do to one person, you're like, oh my God, no, it's got to be like $20, right? Or it's got to be $150 an hour, and that's expensive, right? Be kind to yourself if that's the mindset. Now, I've got a question for you. Have you ever really wanted to have more of a freedom-based business? Like not just, chasing down clients and marketing your face off, or even working for somebody else and helping them realize their dreams. But have you ever really wanted to make good money, helping good people, right? And healing our planet? Is that something that you've ever wanted to? You're welcome to. If you're watching on Facebook, type yes. That's something that I want. If you're watching on Zoom, you can go ahead and type yes, right? Have you ever really wanted not just a little bit more money, but especially rapid financial ascension, right? So we're talking about making things happen like whoosh, fast, rapid financial ascension, and not just helping, as many people you could barely fit into, right, the 20, 30, 40 hours of client sessions that you make available on a weekly basis, right? So that you're only able to make an impact for a maximum of like 20 or 60 people in your lifetime. But would you want to have massive impact where you're impacting millions, right? Or either directly or indirectly, right? This is what we're going to be talking about, because in the past, like, I'm curious, why hasn't that happened yet, right? Why aren't you chilling on the beach right now, outside of Corona crap, right? I'm not just talking about the coronavirus, but how come we're looking at like, I gotta figure out how to make more money, and why can't you enjoy the lifestyle that you're looking for, right? What happened? So maybe what happened is that you're starting to doubt even that the universe really does have your back. So you've gotten the books by what's the name, who says, oh, the universe has your back, right? Or maybe you heard Abraham say like something positive of that the universe takes one step, the universe takes 10 for every one that you take. Or you heard Napoleon Hill say, anything the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. And you're like, yeah, that's true, right? If that's something that you heard and you started believing in it, but have you ever had the experience where you started doubting of like, all right, that works for them, but maybe not for me, right? Because as you look at your bank account, or as you look at your sales, right, or your savings account, or the flow of revenue coming in and out, right, the AR for your life and business, why is it so quiet, right? Why is it quiet for me? I'm a good person, right? I'm gonna put myself in our shoes. I'm not gonna say put myself in your shoes, because these are our shoes, baby. I am not a guru. I am not your priest. I am not a coach. I'm not any of that, right? I've been there, right? I wanna share with you some of the secrets that I've uncovered on my own journey, opening up to being able to receive more money. And what I want to promise you is that by the end of this webinar, you are going to understand the 3 biggest secrets that are holding you back for no freaking reason other than you didn't know them, right? And the minute that you know them, you're like, oh, forget that. I know exactly what's holding me back, and I've taken my power from the thing that is keeping me from manifesting the wealth that I need. Now, be kind to yourself. We're going to be doing some silly things over the next bit of time that we have left together, and I want you to go and snatch the money back. Snatch the power back. Go. I want you to reach for it, reach in front of you, and place it into your body. Say, Source, I am receiving my power back. Source, I am receiving my power back. Go ahead. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and type it in the comments to say, I am receiving my power back. Source, I am receiving my money. I'm not leaving it on the table. I'm getting chills head to toe right now. I'm not leaving it on the table anymore. My people need me wealthy, right? My people need me wealthy. I'm able to impact hundreds of people now because I make more money. Before, I was only able to help out about 30, 35 people. Now I'm in the hundreds. I'm going for the thousands, right? I'm on this journey. I haven't figured it all out, but I figured out a few things that helped me break through. Me personally, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my story. Yeah, Brooke, taking your power back, right on Goddess on Facebook. By the way, when I look over here, I'm on Facebook. When I look over here, I'm on Zoom. Okay. So taking your power back. I've figured out a few things that have helped me move out of not charging at all for what I do, thinking that, you know, it's not about the money, right? It's about helping people. Is that one that you tell yourself? I know it was for me. It's not about the money, it's about helping people. Or how about this one? Ready for limiting beliefs? Ready for well-meaning limiting beliefs? Okay. Money, you know, what I do, you can't charge for it, right? This is spiritual work. Ah, Genevieve was like, you got smacked by that one, child. Yes. This is spiritual work. People won't pay. People won't pay for what I do because anybody can do it. You know, this is simple stuff. Yeah, what else? I'm not pulling these out of you, whoever's watching right now, right? I'm not pulling these, I'm pulling them out of me. I remember. and I'm grateful for my dark side, because when I start talking about what limited me, how interesting, you and I get deeply connected, right? The more I'm going to share with you what held me back, the more we are going to see one another in each other, right? This is sacred storytelling, right? And we talked about that yesterday for day 2 of the Entrepreneur Master Manifestor Challenge, sacred storytelling, right? So I want to share with you a few more things that, and I have notes. So if you hear rustling, this is my notes, right? I want to share with you that every wound is a wound. Every wound is a wound. And sometimes the things that push us in the direction of our wealth and abundance are the wounds that we received. And that is my story. Now, if this is the first time you're really getting to see me open up about my story. Let me reintroduce myself as I am right now. And then I'm gonna take you back to where I began. Right? I'm Sensei Victoria Whitfield. Sensei is a Japanese word that means teacher, right? So you can think of me as a teacher. My title comes from being a Reiki master 4 times over and counting. And I am the world's first business Reiki master. What that means is that I am an energy healer only for entrepreneurs and business owners, especially empathic entrepreneurs and business owners, because right, I'm one of your people, we have unique needs, right, as empaths, being emotional sponges who happen to have businesses in the service industry, right? So your business could actually end up being something that could kill you, right? Or put you in the hospital. And that leads to my story. Are you ready for it? So that's where I am right now, right? I give you the space to be visionary and for you to feel loved and safe at work because you have the support that you need to keep getting out there and sharing your gifts with the people you've been called to. But I know what it's like to be stuck at work. And when I'm talking about stuck, I mean literally. You know, this one comes from before I was a Reiki master. I never really wanted to be a Reiki master. Can you believe that? Right? I'm like a head to toe in rainbow, like glitter. And then my feng shui crystal is bringing like random rainbows into the room as I'm talking to you right now. Like this is woo, baby. This is woo. And I never, like you talk to my childhood friends, they're like, I don't know what the F happened to Victoria. Whoa, I'll tell you what happened to me. I know what it's like to be stuck, and not just stuck as duck emotionally or financially, but literally. Literally. I met my window of opportunity, and I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to give you a warning, though. The story I'm about to tell you is graphic. So for all the empaths in the audience, give yourself a hug because wham, my hands are stuck between two 40 pounds of glass. This is me being stuck at work. So I used to work at a nonprofit that was housed in this beautiful old Victorian building, original glass windows. You could see the ripple in the glass where the glass blower poured the window. And I had the great idea one day, in particular, on a nice, hot, sweaty Jersey summer day, that I'm going to open these windows by myself. Now, I had a window of opportunity, right? I had a window of opportunity to call the maintenance gentleman. He's a sweetie pie. Jimmy, could you come open the windows? I didn't take that window of opportunity. I also had a window of opportunity to wait for someone to come back into the building and help me. I'm such an incredible integrator that people would literally leave me alone in the office for hours because I could hold that whole thing down. Okay, right? And that was one of those days. So rather than waiting for someone to come back and help me with the windows, I missed that window of opportunity. And last but not least, this is amazing. I could have just turned on the air conditioner, which was right next to me. You know, wouldn't that have been easier? Right? But I believed it. I believed it that I could do it. Napoleon Hill, anything the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. Think and grow rich. All right, now think and go to the hospital because wham. This was the day that the window broke and fell on my fingers. I was trapped between two 30-pound panes of glass and like lodged down to the bone. I have a reminder now. This is a normal thumb on me. This is a contusion thumb. So this is me going all the way down. This is me going all the way down on my left thumb. Like all the way down to the bone, stuck in the window. So I missed my window of opportunity to ask for help because I have a can-do attitude. This is the day I discovered I not only have a can-do attitude, I have a toxic can-do attitude, right? I'm going to be your spirit animal for a minute right now and own this, if you don't mind, all right? Amen. So with that, toxic can-do attitude, I didn't know what was going on at the time. I didn't have even blood flow to my throat to scream. I was in so much pain. All those nerves in your hands, right? Finally, after about 7 minutes, someone happened to walk by and find me in the window. That felt like an eternity. And by that time, that was actually the founder who happened to walk in and be like, oh my gosh. And he's an elder, right? So in his late 70s, and he's trying, like banging on the window and shouting desperately. He has a hernia, right? And heart problems, and he's trying to open the window. And I'll never forget, and you're going to want to write this down, of what got me out the window. It wasn't him banging on it. Getting emotional. There was a moment that I had clarity in my head of like, oh my gosh, if I never get out of this window, I'm never going to see my nephew again. Oh, I love my nephew. And it was like a lightning bolt hit my head. I'm coming out of this. Write this down. I'm coming out of this. A lightning bolt of awareness and clarity hit me. Oh no, I got to see him. I'm coming out of this. And graphic, I ripped my hands out of the window and looked through them. I'll never forget, I saw the white of the bone as I then fainted and split my glasses. If you've seen previous videos, like, oh, lovely glasses, these are new, right? Split my glasses on the way down. So not only am I unable to work, right, because my hands are messed up, but on top of that, I can't provide for myself because I'm also blind, right? I don't wear contacts. When these come off, it's like, it's a freaking Jackson Pollock painting. I don't know what's going on, right? And that for me was the day that I discovered that, oh my gosh, I'm working myself into the hospital. And there may be some of you watching right now who've had an experience of your toxic can-do attitude has worked you into the hospital or out of your marriage or out of your relationship with your children, right? Or out of the health in your body. Maybe you haven't been able, maybe you didn't get rushed to the hospital because of your toxic can-do attitude, but the health and vibrancy that you had before has been on a steady decline. There's like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. With love. At this rate, no, you can't. Right? I'm a smart girl. I'm a smart girl. I believe that anything I can like conceive, I can achieve. Absolutely. I give help, right? I'm a helper. I'm the strong one. I was the strong one trapped in the window though, right? So because the reason why I was trapped in the window that day though was because I didn't ask for help. I'm going to activate your energy right now. Whether you stay on for the rest of this webinar or not, it is blank and it is given. Fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. Blank and it is given. Whatever you want. If you're on Facebook, what is the word? Blank and it is given. Zoom, type it in. Blank and it is given. I give help. I give money, right? I don't receive it. Why? One word. There's one word and it's only 3 letters long. Blank and it is given. I want you to fill in the blank, right? And I'm not even going to say that word yet because I'm going to wait to see if somebody on here has a little bit of learning yet, right? Okay, I'm starting to see it come in on Zoom, right? I'm a strong, independent, high achiever, right? I have a can-do attitude. I'm creative. I'm curious, right? And 9 times out of 10, I get things done right the first time, and I'll be all judgy around people who don't do it right the first time. Yeah. I was that chick of like, I got it. And no, you don't, baby. No, you don't. No, you don't. Right? I'm sending you so much love. It's blank and it is given. And that's what we're talking about today. Let me continue with my notes. Is this helpful? Is this touching somebody? I hope, like, if I'm just going to put all my dirty laundry out there and you enjoy the smell, child. Right? The problem was I had a toxic can-do attitude. That was the problem, right? So when I decided that I'm coming out of this, that was the moment that everything started to change in my life, right? I had no idea what that was going to cause, like a domino of events falling in my life when I decided I'm coming out of this, right? That led to me getting more Reiki and then getting into coaching, receiving coaching, right? Receiving coaching for me. I'm not a coach. I'm not a coach. I'm not a coach. I'm not a witch. Oh, I love that movie. But for me, that was the first thing that got me on this path. You can relate, Brooke? Thank you, goddess. Right? Thank you. Now, for me, I wanted to set myself free, not just once I started receiving support. And by the way, that day had a happy ending. Yes, I'm whole and complete. You can see I've got both earrings on. I'm here. I got it. Right? I'm back from the hospital. This was years ago. Not only that, but that was also the day that I feel the tears, and if I cry and I don't have waterproof mascara on, that was the day that I also discovered something new. Not just that I'm coming out of this, but that I matter. You want to talk about limiting beliefs? Like, I didn't know that I mattered to other people, that my well-being mattered to other people, because the biggest fear that I had at the time, I was working for love there, was going to the hospital. That position, like, I was only making like 30 grand before taxes. You know, it was that kind of a standard, you know, executive administrative position at a little nonprofit and no benefits. My worst fear was going to the hospital at the time. And this will never not make me cry. But what I found out through hearsay is that people started donating money to pay for all of my hospital bills when I had to go to the hospital after that accident. Not only that, but on top of that, they raised a capital campaign to overhaul the entire building so that would never happen to another person ever again, as inspired by me. That was the day that I learned that I mattered to other people. And I don't know if this speaks to you, but as someone who gives constantly and caregives or supports the people in your life, whether you're male or you're female, to know that you matter is everything, right? Because we can lose, I know, I'll speak only for myself, I would lose my identity in giving, right? Giver's game. I'm a go-giver. Yeah, I read the book. And I embody it, right? For some of you, you've met me through networking. Hell yeah, I show up to give. But there's this thing that can happen when you're a go-giver. I've observed in myself that I'll lose my identity giving. I'm like, well, I don't matter. I've got fires to put out, or so-and-so needs help. I don't matter. So let me keep giving, right? To make sure that they're all right. And it's kind of creepy. As an empath, what we'll do, or I'll put it only on me, what I've seen myself as an empath is that I'll only feel better when other people feel better. Me, on my own feeling better, is dependent on everyone around me feeling good and making more money and having transformation and being able to receive the support and love and affirmation that they need, right? If this is speaking to you, if you're on Facebook, put like a hands up emoji or like I see you, type that in. If this is you, you don't have to say it's me, just type in I see you. I see you, Victoria. Because for me, I had to have this experience of literally getting hit by a window to get it knocked into me, right? I'm like, oh, okay, I see you, Victoria. You matter. And I'm going to allow myself to matter to other people, because heck yeah, my ego was like, no, I can't receive support. Right? I can't receive support for all this mess that I'm going through. This is embarrassing. I'll never forget Suzanne telling me, she's like, didn't you feel like a diva when they picked you up in the ambulance? I'm like, yeah. Oh God, didn't you feel like a diva when people raise money to support you? Oh God. And now, dun, 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 diva center stage, right? And you can be a male diva, right? This is not discounting the guys that are tuning in as well, brothers. Like, this is a whole nother can of worms for men being able to open up to receiving help. I think about my dad. He's got to be on the brink of death before it's like, all right, I think we better go and see the doctor right now, honey. It's like, oh my God. And like, you haven't been to a checkup in what years? What are you doing? Right? That's my father, right? Masculine energy of like, oh, you know, everybody else got to be taken care of. My big pop. Love you, Dad. So with that, okay. The window set me free, right? Working myself into the hospital somehow set me free. I'm like, all right, I'm coming out of this. Made that decision. And thank you, by the way, for seeing me. And so then I went into learning. Now, if you're an energy worker, you understand that there are levels. There are levels of dis-ease. Like, you could have a physical expression of the dis-ease in a person's body. You could have an emotional expression of the dis-ease in a person's mind. You could have the relational expression of the dis-ease in a person's life. You could have the financial expression of the dis-ease in a person's life. If you're trained as an energy healer, or if you've ever seen one, you know that there are levels to blockages and spiritual lessons. That's why they tend to come in cycles. And so, all right, I'm set myself free. I'm gonna learn about personal growth and development. I'm gonna get energy clearing. I'm gonna learn, and I'm gonna learn, and I'm gonna learn all the things. So enter the next level of being trapped. Enter the next level of being trapped, where, okay, at this current filming, I've been in group coaching programs for the last maybe about 11 years straight. 11 years. I look at all the books that are on my shelves of like, love yourself, or learn to do this, right? Or how to network, or essentialism, and food coaching, and all this. If I look at the amount of books that I've read to keep educating myself, yeah, developing my own little library of awesome. Okay. If I look at how many, forgive me, big ass binders that I've brought home from transformational coaching and retreats and workshops and certifications, you want to look, okay, and folders from transformational coaching, and get this, you want to talk about a big ass binder? This is the biggest one yet. I love you, Russell. Listen to it. Hit the floor. Thud. Big ass binders, left and right, books and binders and folders and all of the, holy cow, right? It's raining big ass binders now. I'm going to change my life, right? I'm going to walk on fire. I did that with Tony Robbins. Thank you, Julie. Like, for supporting me in that, sister. Right? I got the shirt that says I'm a fire walker. Yeah, and that's another big ass binder. All right. And then what's next? Spending money, trying to transform my life. Lord, when am I going to transform my life? Yeah. If this is you, right? I mean, this, the transformational, I'm looking at it right now, transformational coaching and self-help shelf in my house, right? Well, full of big ass binders and books and all of that. That shelf is probably worth millions. That shelf is probably worth millions. I mean, I know what I paid for that. I've paid about $250,000 if you put all of that together to date. But if I'm gonna do all of that, it'll be worth millions. But for now, right? For now, if I see, it's just gathering dust that's worth millions. Transformational dust. Transformational big ass binders and books, pieces of paper. And I had to be kind to myself. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? Why don't I have enough money? Where's all my money going? I thought I was changing my life, right? I thought I'm showing up here to change my life and this is the first limiting belief. I don't have enough money. But if someone wants to sell me something, especially about transformation or another certification, oh yeah, Genevieve, like you and me both, sister. Girl, I'm gonna find the money, or it's gonna appear out of thin air, or my credit card is gonna suddenly open up, or I don't know, like a check will come in the mail, out of clean nowhere. Somehow I can pay for when somebody has to sell me something, right? But all right, if it's time for me to get paid, even, well, no one's gonna pay for this, like that's crazy. Me charging more than $150 an hour or $100 an hour, that I should be ashamed of myself. That's crazy. Yes, I'm reading your memoir. Yes, if you are going to write a memoir, you better have me do the forward, baby. Or we could do like it together as a joint project. But here's the thing. Like if someone asks me for money, come on, toxic can-do attitude at the next level. If someone asks me for money, I got it. But if I need money, where is it? Or, I got to get hit by a window and put in the hospital before, like, all right, yeah, finally, I might start receiving. So with love, it's kind of creepy. That's actually, I'm so reluctant to say this because it's so powerful, but I'm going to say it anyway, and I'm just going to drop the bomb and leave it. It is very profitable for me to believe that I don't have, like, that I can't receive money and that I don't have any money. It is very profitable. Who's it profitable for? Not me. Who got all my money though, right? So we are actually being educated by as Myron would say, the miseducational system to be good little boys and girls that follow the things that we are being told, right? It creates employees, and it creates this lack of awareness around wealth and abundance of like, okay, I'm going to be responsible and I'm only going to respond when invited, right? That is the product of having a traditional education, is I am going to be responsible and I'm going to respond. So with that, when you have a traditional education, which I'm sure many of you have, like myself, right? You've gone through primary, secondary, post-secondary, and then graduate as well, school. We've been taught to work hard, and that's how you are a success, right? Work hard. Work hard. This is meant to distract you, and I want to expose the hypnosis here, because it is hypnosis, right? This idea, this hypnosis of I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money is a hypnosis that you have received to convince you of the opposite. And it's even integrated into a lot of law of attraction teaching of like, oh, you gotta meditate hard, you gotta visualize with like your whole body. And that's why Jimmy made $1 million. No. Right? Come on, Jimmy. Tell the truth, bro. Who's your assistant? Who are the people that are your affiliates? Come on. Right? So that working hard is what got me into the hospital. Maybe that happened to you too, right? That you got worked to the point where you were overworked and overloaded. See, that's the old way of doing things, is working hard in order to feel significant. That's the old paradigm that we were hypnotized into. And so it's very profitable to believe that you don't have enough money. It is very profitable to believe that you don't have enough money. When I got knocked on my butt by the window, I had a shift where I learned that it's not just my bank account, right? I want to open up the hypnosis, but I want to show you what came out of that, right? I don't just have my bank account, but my real wealth, if I would dare ask, and that put me into asking, right? By knocking me into the hospital, that put me into being an inspiration to receive money. It's not at all what my intention was, right? People just wanted to give. My real bank account is not just what I see in like my bank that has Victoria on it, right? And my social security number and my account number. My real bank account is the sum total of all the bank accounts of every single person, organization, right, or idea that has ever heard of me, met me, saw me, or conceived of me as an idea. That's the real wealth that I'm working with. So when something comes around of like, oh, if I want to afford something, yeah, I can afford that. And I also had to apply that not just for myself, but for everyone around me, right? When I started charging higher, when I talk to people who are interested in joining my visionary shaman circle, this is how I see them. Of like, when they start saying, oh, well, I can't afford that, Victoria. 10 grand? Whoa, I can't afford that. Okay. I used to tell myself that as well. That's what I used to tell myself. But then I became aware that I am not just my bank account, but I'm the sum total of all bank accounts that have ever met me, seen me, heard of me, or even thought of me as an idea. If I'm really working with that bank account, I don't have enough money doesn't exist. That is a hypnosis. The idea that I don't have enough money is a hypnosis that we've been placed under to be good little boys and girls that do what other people say so that they can only have access to the universal bank account, is what I refer to that as, right? Is this making sense? Is this making sense? If this is making sense, go ahead and type in the chat box, I have a universal bank account. I am opening my universal bank account. I am opening my universal bank account, right? Get your ATM card, right? It's time to start receiving the money that is in there for you. Okay, so that, you got to be kind to yourself, because this leads into the second limiting belief. So the first limiting belief that we all can suffer for is that, oh, my law of attraction doesn't work. All right, let's get into it. Right? All right, I believe you, Victoria. I'm opening my universal bank account. I'm full of hope. I believe it. All right, but my law of attraction doesn't work, right? Victoria, you were the one who got hit by the window. And that's why you are a 6-figure energy healer right now, right? And that's why you charge 5 figures for people to work with you, and people pay you with happily, right? In full. Well, every other day. It's wonderful. And I'm going to get out in front of you because I'm going to get into your shadow, and your shadow is immediately going to say, Victoria, this is just your law of attraction, right? Or that's Abraham's law of attraction. Or that's Tony's law of attraction. This does not apply to me. And with love, that's another very profitable hypnosis, because if you believe that only this applies to Victoria or everybody else, that all right, only y'all have a universal bank account, someone will profit off of you. And the people who you are divinely contracted to serve in this lifetime will lose you, right? You won't have the nourishment to really get out there and support them as you've been called. Be kind to yourself if this is the situation that you're facing, right? What you need the most right now is to understand that there are two things that are especially preventing you from activating your law of attraction. And what are we attracting? We're talking about attracting wealth, right? There are two things in particular. I'm looking through my notes right here to make sure I'm staying on track here. There are two things in particular that are preventing you from activating your law of attraction in your business. And let me break it down for you. There's the idea that money is not spiritual. This was huge for me when I first really started practicing Reiki. Let me tell you a story. I would start sharing energy healing with others because when you learn Reiki, right, any good master will tell you to go and practice it. The same way for friends of mine who've gone through massage training, you have to like regularly get in touch with people's bodies and connect and see how you're able to communicate with their bodies. With that being said, I would get out there and regularly do the practice of Reiki. So I would go to my local metaphysical bookstore, and I came to them because there was a lot of people who would be interested in energy there. Talked to the shop owners and said, hey, can we do like kind of a barter situation where I'll be here for 4 hours every Monday, and if you would allow me, I would love to be able to practice Reiki on your customers, like if anyone would want to try it out. And in exchange for that, I'll help with like restocking or making sure all of the shelves look good and tidy and answering any questions for people who are in the store. They're basically getting like free work for 4 hours in exchange for allowing me to practice Reiki on people. And here's what started happening. They were like, absolutely, come on in, right? And so they had a closet with the doors removed, and they stuck a chair and like a little tiny card table. Like it was a closet, a very shallow closet with the doors removed. I'm just gonna have a sip. A little tiny card table, and that was it, where I could work in a closet, sharing Reiki like samples for free. Why was I sharing Reiki samples? Because of the practice. I just wanted to practice. I remember even telling myself at the time, the experience is worth more than the money to me. When people started suddenly saying, well, how much is this? And I'm like, no, I'm just practicing. Like, I want to make sure that I get my practice in because I'm studying Reiki. And they're like, oh, absolutely. And so, I clear their energy, and they're like, oh my God, I feel amazing. When will you be back here? Oh, on Mondays. I'll see you next week. And so people started coming regularly, and they would offer to give them money. And I'm like, no, I value the experience more than the money. And they're like, okay. So this went on for a few weeks. And then the shop owner came to me and said, some people are saying, like, can they at least give like $20 or something? I'm like, yeah, they could give $20 to you because I value the experience more than the money. And so this continued. And then not only that, but someone who I was learning energy work from on a regular basis. My energy mentor at the time, he had a spare room. He's like, do you need like an area for a full table? I have a spare room, come on over. And so people would come over for hour-long sessions and receiving Reiki from me, sometimes an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours of me working on clearing their energy. And it started getting to the point where I never in a million years would have thought this would happen. At about the 7th month, or 5th, 6th, 7th month, people started resenting me. And here's what it looked like. I know, right? That was my face. Generally like, what are you resenting? Are you kidding me? I'm sharing from my heart. Like, this is good, pure energy, right? So they started saying, listen, Victoria, the work that we've done has healed me so much and changed my life. And I have no way to like support you at all. Like, the more that I come here, the more I start feeling guilty. And I love you. I am so grateful for you. And I wish, like, can I give you a sandwich? Or like can I pay you something? Because you're paying for this room. You're paying for your parking to work on me. You're paying, like, you're basically paying to clear my energy. What? I feel so guilty. Like, whenever I drive up here, I'm like feeling so much guilt and anxiety coming. And that was the first time in my life I had ever heard of such a thing, of like, you're not okay with this being free? I didn't know that giving it all away for free was creating emotional debt. Emotional debt. And that the giving people the gift and the opportunity to just pay. And at first I started deflecting of like, oh yeah, you could pay my energy mentor. Oh yeah, you could pay the shop or something like that. But they're like, no. I'm like, I want to be able to support you, Victoria, because you have been supporting me. So that's an even exchange. They're able to release any of the emotional debt that is being incurred, right? You giving it all away for free. If there's anyone watching me right now who has given it all away for free and wondering why that's repelling people, I want to break this to you so that you can have your breakthrough. You are making them feel guilty. It's actually emptying their energy. You're repelling people giving it all away for free. They cannot truly feel balanced without being able to support you in exchange, right? This is an even exchange. Inhale, exhale, right? When I give away for free, someone asked me if it, yeah. Exactly. So Genevieve just said, when I gave away Reiki readings for free, someone asked me if I was any good or if it worked, right? Giving stuff away for free, it lowers the value of the thing that is being given. So this idea that money is not spiritual, again, is another hypnosis that is very profitable for somebody else, that you believe that. Somebody else is profiting on the fact that you believe that money is not spiritual, or spiritual stuff is not of value, right? Isn't it helpful to the wrong powers that be, that energy healers and coaches and life coaches and transformational healers be broke and struggling and always trying to figure it out? Isn't it nice for them that we don't have money, right? I want to expose this, right? It's emotional debt that is incurred, Regina, emotional debt. And being stuck in an emotional debt paradigm is super duper toxic, right? It's very profitable for us as healers to believe this for the wrong powers that be. And I want to shine light on this to help you awaken to the fact that money is very good and very spiritual, because I believe that when more good people make good money, more good happens in the world. I'm going to repeat that. Write this down. When more good people make good money, more good happens in the world. One more time. When more good people make good money, more good happens in the world. And me too. I know I'm a good person. When more good people make good money, more good happens in the world. You best believe, as a go-giver, the more money I make, the more good is going to happen in the world. And my clients can tell you about all the good that we've created in their worlds because of our working together, right? So, fire, feeling the fire. So that was the first thing. And by the way, I have this up. I brought this from my dojo. Making good money is spiritual. So whenever people that come visit on Facebook, it's backwards. Making good money is spiritual. I put this out just as an affirmation to remind you, yeah, it's okay. Making good money is spiritual. I deserve to make good money because I'm here to make a massive impact. People need what I provide in this world. And I've got to have the nourishment, the financial nourishment, in order to activate the vision that Source has put in me. Right? Kind to yourself if you've been having a hard time believing that. That's why we are talking about it. It's just a hypnosis that you've been under. So that's the first thing. The second thing, that is convincing you that your law of attraction doesn't work, is sales shame. So the sales shame and sales scars. Now I'm not going to go too much into this, but I personally know how scarring it is to receive something that you don't want, right? Sales is a very powerful, powerful tool. It is intimate, where you are reaching in and pulling someone up into a paradigm that they desire. You are selling them. You're helping them find what they're looking for, right? You're going into them. You're getting intimate and saying, all right, it's time to make a commitment, right? You're reaching into them and pulling them into the new paradigm that they were looking for to serve them, when sales is done respectfully. But I've got some sales scars where someone reached into my energy and started pulling me into something I don't want, right? Started trying to say, let me sell you this thing. Let me check. Hey, do you want this? All right, I'm going to host a free dinner because I'm going to sell you something that you don't want and that you don't need. But because I paid for the food, that means that you have to sit there and receive this sales, right? Sales, scars, and wounds, child. But remember, I said, every wound is a wound. Robert Bly, Iron John is what that's from, by the way. Every wound is a womb. So I started receiving sales scars. I'm like, ew, I don't want that nasty car, right? Ew, I don't want that Thigh Master. I don't want that cruise. Who wants to cruise on that rickety looking thing? I don't want that. Right, so started receiving all this, or people, you ever been at the mall? Where the little Asian person pulls you to the side of like, you're gonna have a massage right now, and like, ooh, if I'm gonna have a massage right now, it's not gonna be from you. Get your hands off of me. If you're anything like me, you've had sales scars where I equate it personally, I'll put it on me, with unwanted touching, right? No consent. If you're just gonna grab my arm and try and pull me into your product, right? Or you're gonna grab me by the throat, right, and try to come pull me into your program or this slimy, crazy thing without asking whether or not this is something that I want. And I'm not going to get too much into it, but on a personal note, I know what it is like to be physically, sexually attacked and touched in an unwanted way, right? And to be attacked, that is an incredibly disempowering, terrifying experience. One that has changed my life. It was another reason why that I went into healing myself. It's because someone tried to give me and did something I didn't want on a physical level, breached barrier. And so I equate slimy sales with unwanted touching and non-consensual touch. And so for someone who starts to sell you something that you don't want, right, and doesn't ask permission of you, that will cause a scar in your psyche, right? That'll cause a scar. in your psyche. I know it did for me, so that it came to a point where I would be sitting in and like talking to someone who was really amazing and had this incredible program. And then she started going through a sales pitch, and my whole body was just like, how dare she sell me something? I was here being supportive. How dare she? I'm disgusted, right? The whole body shift, right? If you, now you don't have to say your business, but if you've ever had that experience of where like you completely got disgusted by the fact that someone started selling you something, go ahead and type in the comments. I see you, Victoria. I see you, Victoria. Like I want to hear if because I could just be speaking in a vacuum, you know. But here's what happens when you have that repulsive response, right? Unhealed wounds. Don't turn them into your womb, right? With a B. If you don't turn these wounds into wombs, what's going to happen is that you are going to be repelling sales as well. And here's how we do that as entrepreneurs, healers, and creatives. We turn into hidden gems. You ever had this experience of being a hidden gem? You have the like most incredible program. You are the most powerful healer anybody has ever met, right? And the work that you do is sacred divine juice. It's changed your life and your mama's life and the people who just so happen to trip and stumble over you. Like, wow. And all your people one by one will say, I don't know why more people don't know how awesome you are. Hidden gem, where you have like the freaking cure for cancer, or you have the cure for women's ovarian issues, right? Or you have the cure for insert thing, and you're wondering why no one is seeing this. With love, hidden gem syndrome is a sales scar. Well, here's the dark side of hidden gem syndrome, because we as artists will think like, they got to come to me because I know what I'm doing, and all those jerks out there selling stuff, they don't know what they're doing. That's why they're selling. They should be ashamed of themselves. The real people, right? Exactly. The real people aren't pushy and slimy. Brooke is saying, I'm trying not to be a slimy salesperson. My biggest fear is in sales, right? So I'm the real deal. I mean it from my heart. And people who mean it from their heart, I believe the universe is just going to like open up and they'll fall on my face or fall onto my massage table or whatever. The people will find me because I'm a real deal. I don't have to sell, right? Because this is for real. I love you, and you may die with the cure in you because nobody found out, right? Couldn't put the ego aside of, oh, they have to come to me. Couldn't put the ego aside and open up to allowing sales. Now, the opening up, it involves opening up some of those sales wounds, those scars, right? If you have a compound fracture, that means the bone comes out, right? Crack, bone comes out. How do you heal that? You have to re-break it and then put it back into alignment. Yeah, it involves opening up some fear, learning about sacred sales. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So Genevieve just said, I had a friend who's a phenomenal healer, but refused to advertise in any way. I told him, how is anyone who needs you supposed to find you? Thank you. Exactly. This is especially amongst healers and coaches of like, oh, I'm going to show up at networking and I'm just going to be myself, right? Because I actually own a business because I need to learn how to be myself. I don't own a business to make money. I don't own a business to make money. I'm in business because I need to heal myself. And so I'm going to show up at networking and be myself. And I'm not going to invite anybody to work with me. They're just going to see me and love me. And because I'm receiving their love, then eventually they're going to give me money magically. How did I just say that? How did I just say that? I was not reading your mind. I was reading mine. Right? I'm working for love, not dollars. Hidden gem. There's another half of the sales shame, how it manifests, right? The fear keeping everyone at a distance. And this is the starving artist, right? By the way, both of these, the hidden gem and the starving artist are really big egos. Yeah. So here's the scenario with the starving artist. You ready for this? I'm gonna twist the knife. I'm gonna twist the knife so that you know that someone stabbed you, and that someone is yourself. I'm gonna keep twisting this knife. I love you. That's why I'm doing this. Right? Starving artist. The most incredible, high quality, spectacular works of art. The most beautiful, perfect website and business card that the planet has ever seen. The most spectacularly packed content of a program, and the most beautifully, perfectly formatted PDF document you have ever seen in your entire life. Not only that, but the most perfect eyeliner put on perfectly, the most spectacular book you've ever read in your life, the most amazing ever. And it's free. And it's free. It's perfect. It's so perfect, you can't buy it. I'm trying not to laugh. This is so perfect. You don't have the money to afford it. That's why it's free, right? I took half my life to write this book. Where's my book? Come on, book. I poured my heart and soul into this book. And I spent half a year putting together this presentation. And the most perfect PowerPoint slides you ever seen in your life. Not a single spelling error. And I don't even say, I spent half my life putting together this PowerPoint presentation and writing this book. And it's so good that it's free. You can't afford this. No money could buy this. This is the most amazing Reiki session you're gonna have in your life. Fireworks are gonna shoot out of your coochie, honey. You're just gonna, and it's free because you can't afford. This is spiritual. This is my life's work. This is a masterpiece. Right? I took blood out of my veins and painted it in the thing. This is priceless. This is museum quality. This belongs in a museum and it's free. Yo, I'm loving it. On Zoom, they're dying laughing right now. Like, have you ever seen this? Starving artists. Okay, like, yeah, I've spent some time at Mason Gross at Rutgers University. Starving artist. The man says I should wash my armpits, but I'm an artist. So I gotta be focused here. I'm gonna smoke this stuff. I'm not gonna shower, and I'm not leaving the workroom until it's perfect. And once it's perfect, I'm not gonna do anything with it other than stare at how perfect it is. I'm not gonna get paid for any of the work that I put into this masterpiece because it's priceless. This is what we do, right? We're trying to be rebellious. Yeah, the man makes money on Wall Street. Those wolves, They got their button-down t-shirts and their pants hiked up to their face, right? They got their friggin' belts on, belts coming out of their ears. Nobody wants to be that. I want to be rebellious. That's why I'm going to be poor. I'm going to be dead broke, and the universe is going to send me money. Right? If I need a shower, it's going to rain. If I need, like, I love it. Regina's phone is exploding. I know, I'm sending out all my energy. Enjoy it. Right? This is the thing. This is the thing. Like, starving artists, this is actually a sales scar. And the sales scar that's manifesting here is around the ego. Of like, all right, I need to feel important. I need to feel important. And in order to feel important, everything must be perfect. Right? Perfection paralysis. This is perfection paralysis. I need to feel important, and I need to create something that is perfect so that I can convince myself that I'm perfect and whole and complete. And screw money. I'm not going to charge because I've got to focus on the creation. Starving artists, forget about nourishment, right? I'm not going to take care of my self-care. I'm not going to, with love, if you've ever had a family member who was a starving artist, I'm not going to take care of my family. I'm not going to take care of any of my responsibilities because I have to focus on the creation. Forget the money. Forget the money and nourishment. That's not what's important right now. It's not about the money. It's about the art. It's not about the money. It's about the art. With love, this is a scar. Because how are you going to continue to make art in a big way, like having massive impact, if you aren't nourished, if you don't eat, if you don't sleep in a safe place, if the people around you aren't happy, right? It takes money, right? It takes money. Even Jesus was funded. Okay, all right, there's a whole nother can of worms, like religious hypnosis. I'm like, well, I'm like Mother Teresa, this is my life's work, and I'm dedicating my life to transforming and helping people. I love Mother Teresa. She dedicated her life to her work, and that's what made it important. And that's why she was remembered, because she dedicated her life to the work. She wasn't taking money, Victoria. I know. There's people who be like Mother Teresa and Jesus. Okay. You may not know this. My father is a preacher. My father is a preacher. So I'm very familiar with like the Bible and teaching and Judeo-Christian religion. Spent the first 12 years of my life in Bible school, actually. So like I'm very aware of religious hypnosis. Ooh. Had to come out it. Gotta get hit by the window for me in my life in order to knock some of my energy open to like another level. But be kind to yourself. If you actually read the Bible, you'll learn that Jesus had a bunch of women who funded him. Everywhere he went, he had women who were sponsoring his work. Jesus had money backing him. Okay? And you want to talk about Mother Teresa. All right, Mother Teresa's another one. Okay, yes, she was doing sacred work, washing the feet of the poor and helping heal the sick in India. But guess what? Whenever she wanted to go talk to the Pope, she had a private jet to fly her out there. What do you think got that private jet? Was it just the universe created a jet out of thin air and gave it to Mother Teresa because she was washing like a sick person's testicles in India? No, that's not how it works. This that private jet, I remember watching, have you ever seen the documentary on Mother Teresa? It's actually a really sad story. Like, my heart goes out to her. She was in so much pain emotionally. But this is the fact of the matter. If Mother Teresa would have withdrawn the money that was donated to her in the Vatican Bank, she would have been the first person in history to bankrupt the Vatican. Chills. Oh, chills, head to toe. She would have been the first person in history to bankrupt the Vatican. You want to talk about money? The reason why we remember her is because she was funded, right? She's on her little self, on TV, standing next to, like, presidents and stuff. She was funded. We're talking about money. That's what makes massive impact possible. Not being like I'm so important, just like Mother Teresa. I'm going to dedicate my life to just like Jesus. Jesus was funded. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was funded, right? When you go and you preach, if you've ever been to church, you take up a collections plate, right? You were funded. So if you have problems receiving money, you got to work on your sales scars, right? Got to work on the sales scars so that you're not being a hidden gem and being a starving artist, right? Now, if you are a hidden gem, if you are a starving artist, yes, you're my peoples. But I have one more secret. So that was the second limiting belief that I wanted to help you with money block busting secrets on this webinar. But the third and final one, I started a story before of like how I kept learning and learning, right? Big ass binders everywhere. Big ass binders. Making it rain. Big ass books and big ass binders. Left and right. The last thing that shifted me into receiving more money was moving through this limiting belief. Because right now you may be hearing like, all right, I see it in me, Victoria. I get it. That's why my law of attraction isn't working. It's not because the law of attraction only works for you or this other person. It's not because of that. It's because I have unhealed sales scars. I get it. Awesome. Insert next limiting belief. All right, I need a coach. Here we go. I need more coaching. Well, let me get a certification in sales scars. Or let me go back for my graduate degree in sales and an MBA. Or let me go buy a book. Like, let me go get someone to tell me what to do, right? Well, just tell me what to do. I need more coaching. Insert the third and final limiting belief that is contributing to your money block. Mwah, Isabel. Right, so be kind to yourself if this is what's been coming up for you of like, oh, I need coaching, right? Let me get another coach. And we get all coachy, itchy, coachy of like, all right, whose program am I going to sign up for? I need more education. So let me tell you the shadow side of that. And I'm going to be your spirit animal, remember? I'm going to put this all on me. Coachy, itchy in me comes from my addictive personality. So I have a history of addiction. So let's see, I've had food addiction. I used to be a smoker. I used to need my Jack and Coke. It was especially like, Jack Daniels, the private stock. I remember Jack and Coke. It would smell like vanilla death. Basically, every time I would drink it. While I was smoking, I also used to be addicted to sex. I have a bit of an addictive personality. If you've ever seen my rock, gem, and crystal collection, you're going to be like, I think you like crystals. I'm like, yeah, I have an addictive personality, right? I'm a hyperactive buyer. That's why, like, I love it when people sell me. Like, yeah, like if it's what I want, I'm all in. If it's what I don't want, get the F out of my face. oh, nasty, nasty. But if this is like, oh my God, this is going to change my life, my credit card flies out of my bra and I don't know where it went, right? I have an addictive personality. So when I start hearing about like, okay, that's my block, right? Or this is the thing that's holding me back. Let me go, coachy, coachy, itchy, itchy, coachy. I'm going to scratch that itch and get someone to like tell me stuff. Well, yeah, this is what you got to do. And this is who you got to be. And inspiration, motivation, and insert quote here. And I'm like, yeah. And nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. On top of that, all right, now I'm going to start throwing rocks at the coaching industry because I am not a coach. I'm not. In the coaching industry, there's this pattern of addictive personalities as well, being the coach. So they're like, I'm going to feed you from a fire hose. Have you ever heard a coach say that before? You ever heard a coach say that before? Like, all right, get ready. I'm going to feed you from a fire hose. All right, you sign up for the program. I'm going to show you how. And here comes this big ass binder of 100 million different worksheets and things and like modules that I don't know about you, but I've never successfully tried to drink from a fire hose. And I'm kind of scared to watch a video example of it because I'm pretty sure that if anyone tried to drink from a fire hose, it would rip their lips off. Right? A fire hose is not what you should be drinking from. That's not natural, right? Fire hoses are not for drinking. Public service announcement. Fire hoses are not for drinking from, ladies and gentlemen. They are for putting out fires, right? In buildings and stuff, not in people. So we have people who have addictive personalities leading the coaching industry, feeding you from fire hose. And what this breeds, unfortunately, is overwhelm. All right, I'm coming in and like freaked out, overloaded, and you're gonna teach me. And what do I get? I actually get more freaked out and overloaded of like, oh my God, there's so many more things that I have to do. Right? Be kind to yourself if this has been your situation. Here's what happened to me, right? I'm 11 years deep into coaching, so I'm very familiar with this experience. And I remember sitting at yet another transformational coach and development event. I'm like, okay, sitting there with my folder of all this stuff, of all these worksheets, this workbook and all these worksheets that I got to do. And I'm sitting there like having a realization. I don't know I don't know where to start. Even though they said, start here. Emotional information overload. And here's the thing. What I realized in that moment, thank God I do this on a regular basis, is I need to meditate. And when I was meditating, I have a specific kind of meditative practice that I do called shamanic vision journey meditation, where I go and speak to my spirit guides for guidance. I learned, it's one of the many things that I've learned along the way. And that day in particular, I was speaking to a jackal. And I said, I don't know what to do. I feel so overloaded. Can you help clear like my emotional overwhelm? Right? I'm speaking to this jackal in shamanic journey. And I'm like, what, could you help me with this? He's like, yeah, why don't you go downstairs and talk to Isis, the goddess Isis, the Egyptian goddess Isis. She can help you with your business. And at first, I had been only journeying to clear my emotional energy. I'm like, what are you talking about? I thought meditation was only for my personal life. I thought meditation was only for my spiritual development. What? And he's like, yeah. And it's weird enough, woo-woo enough that I'm talking to a jackal about this. I'm like, all right, I'm all in. Alice in Wonderland, let's go. So I go and I like see like there's the goddess sitting on the throne. I'm meditating, seeing all of this in visualization. And so I sit there, I'm like, okay, well, what do I need to know right now? Where do I start? Like applying the stuff that I just learned at coaching. And the goddess Isis looked at me and she's like, You're going to send an email. Open your eyes. I'm going to dictate to you. And I'm like, you know what an email is? I thought you were in Egypt, right? So here's the thing. I opened my eyes up. I kept the meditation music going, and I could hear her. I started automatic writing. Years ago, that was the very first love letter email that I ever sent to my email list. And that, in that binder, was all about email marketing and all the different things that you know about, but I didn't know where to start. Rather than having a coach on the outside tell me, this is what you need to do, Victoria, I discovered that day, for me personally, something that I now call auto coaching, meaning being able to guide yourself. But the way that I found it was through meditation, my meditation practice. Here's the thing, I kept my business over here and my personal and spiritual life over here. I thought that's how you do it, right? I thought that is how it's done, where like, okay, all the coaching and networking and learning and development and money and all of that is over here, and it has absolutely nothing to do with my emotional health, my spiritual practices, my Reiki, all of the journeying and shamanism and magic and woo-woo and candles and all of that. These two have nothing to do with each other, right? If I need personal guidance, that means I need it personally. So I'm going to go over here. Has nothing to do with here. If I need business guidance, I'm going to go over here because that has nothing to do with my... That was the day that the two came together. That, for me, changed my life, right? That's why I was featured on stage in front of the Bold Heart group. Back then it was called Client Attraction, in front of thousands of people for like having $10,000 months. That was how I was able to manifest being able to go on not just a national tour for my book, and leading meditations, but on a world tour as well. That was how it happened. When I took this and I merged it with this, when I got the clarity and the healing, the emotional clarity and healing I received from my personal, emotional, spiritual practice, and I merged it with all of the now $250,000 worth of business and marketing, strategic and all of that education. When I used my spirit guides to help me know what's the right next step for me, of all the fire hosing craziness that my coaches are giving, like, and it's awesome, absolutely. And I wouldn't be able to move forward steadily and with grace and health without my spirit guides. It's impossible. I now have them at the absolute center of my business. This is my business model. And this is the key when you keep getting coachy of like, I need another coach. No. You just need guidance and clarity, right? Because if you were to not have another coach for the rest of your life, I know many of you who are watching in right now who've had multiple coaches, like me. If you never have another coach for the rest of your life and only focused on looking back over your shoulder or looking at that transformational coaching shelf graveyard that's in your office, I'm looking at mine, it's about 6 feet tall. If I only used my journey practice to go enact that, what the heck? I wouldn't be wearing pants anymore. I'd be wearing dresses. I wouldn't be working like 5-7 days a week anymore. I'd be working 3.5. I wouldn't be like working in an office or anything like that. I'd be working in a mansion, right? I wouldn't be like hustling and grinding every day. I'd be doing business from my bathtub, right? Like, these are the things that I've manifested personally in my own business, but also this is now what I teach other entrepreneurs and business owners who are in a similar strait, who've been through this, who've been through the same hypnosis. These three things: the hypnosis of I don't have enough money. We talked about that. The hypnosis of my law of attraction doesn't work, right? And those who been through the hypnosis of, oh, let me get another coach, the addictive personality thing. That's what I help conscious entrepreneurs with, who've been through that hypnosis and they're like, you know what, I'm ready to put it down. How do I do that? How do I do that, Victoria? Because when I go to meditate, I can't. For me, I've set up an entire lifestyle around myself as well as all of the members of my visionary shaman circle so that it makes this just a standard operating procedure. And we've been doing this for 6 years now, right? Getting paid to meditate, essentially. So now I get, when the average person goes to meditate, they meditate like maybe for entertainment or maybe for relaxation and healing. But when I and the people that I teach and work with directly go to meditate, we immediately start making money in a structured practice. Immediately. I've seen people like Amy manifest the sale of a condo that's been sitting on the market for years. Finally, her guides opened up and revealed her how to make that happen. Or I've seen people like Joe, who when he did our meditation together, he said, I need money, did the meditation, and then opened his eyes, so, oh my God, I found $90,000 in my front yard, right? Start making money. Or when Nettie did the meditation, right, and she closed 4 new clients, right? Or when Robin did the meditation, she did and she closed $10,000 in 7 days so that she could fund the opening of her dream salon, right? She's a salon owner. When you learn how to take your meditative practice, exactly how, and merge it with the wisdom you already have, that's when creation, especially manifestation of money, happens, right? And if that's something that you want to learn more about, I have a program called the Visionary Shaman Circle that I would love to get to speak to you about. Now we are running out of time here. So in order for you to learn more about the Visionary Shaman Circle so that you can learn how to merge your meditative practice with all the wisdom that you already have. And by the way, I'm not a coach. I'm not going to coach you. We are going to meditate and set up your entire year of self-care that is strategic. It's strategic self-care. When I created the Visionary Shaman Circle, I created it specifically so that it would support you being able to write off your self-care as an entrepreneur, as a business expense, because it is, right? If you don't have that inner glow as you are growing in life and business, it's not going to happen for you. Now, if this is something that you want to know more about, here's how I can get you information about that, because we're running out of time. I, got like really deep into all of the storytelling. I honor the beauty of our exchange and our connection today. Has been really amazing. And so if you want to learn more about how to merge your meditative experience with all of your business wisdom to finally create money manifestations that you're looking for, here's what I need you to do. Very simple. I need you to send me a private message on Facebook. We're going to set up a time where we can talk one-on-one and I can break it down for you. If we're unable to find a time one-on-one sooner rather than later, I have a recording that'll guide you through the entire program as well as what to expect. And I'll even go through this presentation in that recording as well. But it's very simple. We need to jump on a call and have more of a targeted conversation around this. So if you open up your phone, where's my phone? Did I drop it? I did. I think I threw it through the air. So here's how you're going to do that right now. Ooh, 1%. You are going to open up Facebook Messenger, you're going to do a search for Victoria Whitfield. And what you're going to type me is you're going to say, let's talk about getting paid to meditate. You can leave me an emoji if you like. I love green hearts. And you'll send that to me. This is what you're going to do. Did you see that, Facebook? So you're going to send me, you're going to open up Facebook Messenger. You're going to search. You're going to search for Victoria Whitfield. And you're going to type me a message that says, let's talk about getting paid to meditate.